Galvatron!
Galvatron's design, love it or hate it, but it brings its problems when translating into a toy. The first toy was not super successful, with weird ass hip joints, knees that were way too high up, arms that couldn't move back because basically all of the truck was on its back, and yeah, the whole truck was just on its back. It just hid itself away more than actually transformed. It wasn't fun for me. Then we never got a mainline Galvatron from the films. Unique toys would crop up to give us what is, in my opinion, the best looking movie Galvatron toy ever, but even it has some issues and limitations due to the design, and it's a third-party toy. It hasn't exactly aged well. Enter the Studio Series line, finally giving us more post-Dark of the Moon movie toys and going strong with Galvatron. Galvatron here still has its fair share of issues, and a lot of that have to do with the price, but it's still a very valiant attempt, and I'm glad it exists. I got this on Amazon, by the way. He's still in stock there, along with Thundercracker, so you can go pick those up if you want. They're shipping early, which is nice. What did I mean by price? Well, I'm not saying it's expensive, because it's not. When I say problems are related to price, I'm talking about the fact that it's only a $30 Voyager. Being 30 bucks brings budget restrictions, and this would have benefited hard from being a leader. That extra bit of budget the leaders get would have really helped clean up this guy a lot. Could have thrown in a seed, actual proper arm blades that were separate, a cannon that was bigger, etc. For $30, this attempt was great, but I do wish it was a leader to give it more engineering to clean it up just a bit more. That's my biggest issue with this toy, because it's very boxy because of that small price, and if the price was higher, they could have cleaned it. Galvatron is full of sculpted detail. There's a lot going on here, and I wish it was covered in silver more. It would have been nice. Again, something that could have been done if it was a leader class budget. He still has some alt mode kibble around him, but it's nowhere near as bad as the old one. He definitely has a leg up in the articulation department over the old one, but posing him looks a tad awkward because of how slender his arms are. They have to fit within the truck, and that means that they have to be skinny. They look great from the front, but from the side, not so much. Granted, I can forgive that because he transforms like this in the film, so at least this actually attempts a transformation. Head sculpt is pretty good. There is a lot of detail here, but the mouth isn't super defined, and it feels lost in that. Like, from a distance, you kind of lose the mouth definition, and it's a little annoying. He can at least do the iconic Galvatron teaser trailer pose, which is really sick. He comes with his cannon, and it's way too small. I get it's because of the way it stores, but the storage thing in alt mode creates two problems that could have been solved if it was just plugged in on the side. The first being that the cannon's too small, like I said. The second problem affects the legs in alt mode, but I'll talk about that in alt mode. The missile accessory stores in the chest, which I absolutely love that. It's 10 out of 10. It just tucks away so nicely. Like, it's genius. The back can be a bit fiddly if you don't line all the panels up correctly. Picking it up just kind of shifts everything around, and that gets very fidgety, but I still like the robot. Obviously, we weren't going to get Nero levels of engineering because, well, this is a $30 toy and Nero is $250, and for this price, it's not a bad attempt. Posing is pretty good. Because of the transformation, he has an ab crunch and butterfly joints. Just when you unclip the arms, don't pull from the shoulders, pull from the panel itself, because you don't want to accidentally rip the mushroom pegs off. And I wish the feet tabbed in a bit. The friction in the upper hinge in the shin is fine, but I wish there was a little extra locking tab to secure it in place, because it just sometimes will come undone. Transformation is very flip the whole thing inside out. The arms tuck into the cab kind of like the old one, and the legs, while they don't actually take any steps from Nero, they feel very Nero-y. But they do unravel and come together in a cool way to form the side and the back of the truck. It just sort of engulfs it. It's really cool. Truck mode is a bit dinky, but it's not bad. It gets the alt mode across quite well, even though it's bordering on Universe Ironhide levels of panel lines and hinges. But I can't talk about the alt mode without acknowledging the elephant in the room, so let's just talk about the feet. Sam, does one of the designers at Hasbro, stated that this was designed robot mode first as opposed to alt mode first, like all the other movie toys. They ended up having to compromise on the alt mode a bit to get the robot to work, and that the feet are a combo of not having any place to put them in the design and no tooling budget. Now here's the issue I have with this. Nowhere to fit them because of weapon storage. If you omit the cannon having to go in that little gap there, a little hinge on the front of the toes could have folded them in to help them get out of the way, and then you just fold the back ones over a bit more and it would have cleaned it up a lot nicer. But they didn't do that, and it's a little bit annoying to me. It's not horrible, but the fact that they could have potentially done it to sacrifice weapon storage, I would have been totally okay with. It's there, it's a bit of an eyesore, but not a lot of people display these things in truck mode mostly, so it's fine, but it is still there. I do like the rest of it. They get the bulbous nature of the truck mode down quite well, a bit more than the old one. Actually, the old one is quite squared off, so I like the look of this new truck better. When you put it next to Nero, it looks a lot nicer than the old one did. It also took me a million years here to transform Stinger to get this shot, but these two, I'm glad Stinger now has his partner to go with because they look great together. You can take the missile pod and jab it into the side, and that's nice. Wish there was a second one, but if you don't really want it there, you can open the bottom of the truck up and hide it underneath, and that's so satisfying. I just like the robot's storage. Like, I know I said the storage for the other gun is annoying because of the feet, but at least it hides away in the truck and integrates with it. I love the way that they did that. It's a neat figure, definitely far from perfect, but leagues better than the old one to me. I do recommend one. Of course, DNA or someone will make upgrade kits at some point for the people who are into that. But I still like the stock figure and recommend grabbing one. Lord knows Studio Series after prices are poop on the best of days, so it may just be worth getting in case you want one later and it's like $300 or something stupid like Studio Series Ironhead. Oh wait, that's being reissued with Prime, who's also really expensive. Huh. Good job, Hasbro. I do quite like this toy. It's been a lot of fun messing with. Like, I got this Thundercracker and G-Axis and at the same time, and Galvatron's been the one I messed with the most. I mean, so that's saying something. It's super cool, and I do recommend it, especially at its price. It's not terrible. But that's been my look at Studio Series Galvatron. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.